Once upon a time, in a quiet kingdom where silver stars glowed each night, there lived a gentle girl named Cinderella. Her days were filled with sweeping and scrubbing and carrying out the wishes of her unkind stepmother and stepsisters. From sunrise to sunset, she worked without rest, yet her heart never grew harsh. She sang softly to the mice who scurried near her feet, she whispered kind words to the sparrows on the roof, and she let her dreams carry her through the hardest hours. Even in the dust and ashes, she carried a light within her. One night, when the house had grown still, Cinderella stepped outside to breathe the cool night air. The moon was full and bright, and as its glow touched the stones, something strange began to happen. A faint silver path appeared beneath the vines. With curious steps, she followed it, and it led her into a place she had never seen before. It was a secret garden, blooming only under the moon. Silver flowers opened their petals as though they were stars come down to earth, and the fountain in the center shimmered like starlight made into water. There, among the flowers, a figure appeared, wrapped in soft light. It was the spirit of the garden, who spoke in a voice like the night breeze. The spirit told Cinderella that this garden revealed itself only to hearts that were kind, and that her gentleness had guided her here. The spirit promised her that one day her goodness would be seen, though for now it was hidden. Cinderella listened with wide eyes, her heart full of wonder, and returned home carrying the memory of the garden like a secret gift. Not long after, the king's messengers arrived with a royal scroll. A great ball was to be held at the palace, so the prince might meet the maidens of the land. Cinderella's stepsisters squealed with excitement, demanding gowns of silk and gold, and Cinderella helped them prepare. She sewed their ribbons, polished their shoes, and curled their hair, though her own heart quietly longed to see the palace lights and hear the music. When she asked if she might come, her stepmother laughed cruelly and told her to stay behind in the ashes. When the house was empty, Cinderella's heart ached, but she remembered the shining path. She hurried to the secret garden, where the spirit was waiting. With a wave of her hand, a pumpkin grew large and golden, transforming into a carriage. The mice at her feet stretched into horses, the lizard became a coachman, and her ragged dress spun itself into a gown woven of moonlight and silver leaves. On her feet appeared slippers of glowing crystal. But the spirit gave her one warning: at the last stroke of midnight, all the magic would fade. Cinderella rode to the palace, and when she entered the ballroom, every head turned. Her gown shimmered like the stars themselves, and her smile was gentle and kind. The prince, weary of proud maidens, felt drawn to her at once. He bowed and asked her to dance, and together they moved gracefully across the floor. Yet what touched him most was not her beauty, but when a frightened bird flew into the hall, and while others cried out, Cinderella caught it softly in her hands and set it free. The prince saw then the kindness that shone within her. But as the bells began to toll, Cinderella remembered the warning. She slipped from the prince's grasp and fled down the stairs. In her haste, one crystal slipper slid from her foot and was left behind, though in her hand she found a single glowing petal from her gown, still bright with silver light. The carriage vanished, the horses became mice again, and she stood once more in her plain dress beneath the night sky, her heart still racing from the dance. The next day, the prince declared he would find the maiden who fit the slipper. He carried it across the kingdom, but none could wear it. At last, he came to Cinderella's house. The stepsisters pushed and squeezed, but the slipper would not fit them. At the prince's request, Cinderella stepped forward, and when she placed her foot inside, the slipper fit as though it had been made for her alone. At that moment, the silver petal floated from her hand, glowing more brightly than ever, and the prince knew she was the one whose kindness had touched his heart. The spirit of the garden appeared once more, visible only to Cinderella, and whispered that her secret was revealed at last. The prince, taking her hand, vowed that together they would protect the moonlit garden and share its magic of kindness with the people. And so Cinderella became a princess, but she never forgot her friends or the secret place that had given her hope. She opened the garden gates so that children from every village could see the silver flowers bloom and learn that kindness is the truest magic of all. And whenever the stars twinkled in the night sky, the people whispered her story, not of rags to riches, but of kindness to light, the secret of Cinderella's moonlight that would forever shine across the kingdom.